observed during the first weekend of the war and 5 days later. Heather Bosch, CBS News.
Iran plans its nuclear facilities for targets. On Friday, Israel confirming this weekend its military conducted the strike and warns attacks will escalate. WTOP National Security Correspondent J.J. Green has more details.
The Israeli strike is now at the core of Iran's nuclear program, creating a sharp escalation in this war. Targets include the Kundan heavy water facility and the Ardakan yellow cake plant, both critical parts of Iran's nuclear fuel cycle. These are not symbolic sites. They are tied directly to how nuclear material is produced and processed. Iran says there is no radiation leak, but it's warning this crosses a major line. The significance here is strategic. This is not just about degrading military capability. It appears to be about disrupting Iran's long-term nuclear potential. Because of this, this war has entered a more dangerous phase where nuclear infrastructure is now in the crosshairs, raising the risk of wider retaliation, global concern, and radiation risk.
WTOP National Security Correspondent J.J. Green, Saturday morning at 1:43. The Trump administration insists they can end this war with Iran in the near future without boots on the ground. But Iran has issued this week deployment orders for hundreds in the Middle East. ABC's Matt Rivers reports from the region.
2,200 Marines are set to arrive in the Middle East any day now, and up to 1,500 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne preparing to deploy. Sparking speculation, the Pentagon is preparing for a possible ground offensive in Iran. Those troops headed to the region as the U.S. looks to break Iran's chokehold on the critical Strait of Hormuz. Sending shockwaves through global energy markets, oil and gas prices skyrocketing.
WTOP at 1:34. Turning the page this morning, the partial government shutdown. It's day 43, tying the record for the longest overall shutdown in the nation's history, which was set last year. House Speaker Mike Johnson decided apparently not to take up the bill passed by Republican-controlled Senate this week, and instead put his own short-term Homeland Security measure on the floor. It was approved, but the DXers shutdown continues, because now the Senate needs to vote on the legislation. Let's get more now from WTOP Capitol Hill correspondent Mitchell Miller. Saturday morning, today on the Hill.
All these agencies that keep us safe, we must fund them. This is not a game.
House Speaker Mike Johnson argued this bill passed by the Senate because it didn't include funding for ICE enforcement, location, and border protection.
People are not pawns. These are workers who are sacrificially serving the country, many of them without pay, to make sure that you and your families are safe.
The House's top Democrat, Hakeem Jeffries, says it's Republicans who are hurting federal workers by extending the DHS shutdown. He says the Senate legislation
has been supported by every single Democrat and every single Republican.
as it made its way to the House of Representatives. The House bill provides funding for DHS through May 22nd, but without approval from the Senate, which is unlikely, the shutdown continues. In the meantime, President Trump says an executive order will direct federal funds to pay TSA workers who have been calling out while failing to get paychecks. The administration has declared pending checks for those workers as early as Monday. Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
WTOP at 125. Long line gets shorter now that the TSA employees will be getting
I don't know if we're going to make our flight or not.
Friday morning.